The soft glow of the morning sun spilled into Maple Diner, a small, family-run restaurant tucked on the corner of a quiet street. Inside, the clinking of cutlery and the low hum of chatter filled the air. At the center of it all was Anna, a young waitress in her late 20s. She wore a faded uniform, her shoes scuffed from countless double shifts, but her smile was genuine, the kind that made tired customers feel at home. Life hadn't been easy for Anna. After losing her parents young, she worked tirelessly to support her younger brother's college tuition. She lived paycheck to paycheck, skipping her own meals just to make sure rent was paid on time. But through all the struggles, she carried her mother's words in her heart. Kindness costs nothing, but it changes everything. That morning seemed like any other. Anna moved from table to table, balancing plates with practiced ease. Then the bell above the door jingled, and in walked a man who seemed out of place. His clothes were wrinkled, his hair unkempt, and exhaustion clung to his face. He slid into a booth at the far corner, avoiding eye contact. Anna approached with her usual warmth. "Good morning," she said, notebook in hand. "What can I get you?" The man hesitated, his eyes darting to the menu and then back to the window. Finally, he murmured, "Just a coffee. Black." Anna noticed the way his hands trembled, the way he clutched the menu but never actually ordered food. Something in her heart tugged. She leaned closer. "Are you sure? Our pancakes are fresh today, or maybe an omelet." He smiled weakly but shook his head. "No, thank you. Coffee's fine." Anna nodded, but as she poured his cup, she whispered to herself, "He looks like he hasn't eaten in days." Without another thought, she scribbled down an order for a full breakfast platter and handed it to the cook. When the plate was ready, eggs, bacon, toast, and pancakes stacked high, she placed it in front of him. The man looked up, confused. I didn't order this. It's on the house," Anna said gently. "Eat, you need it." For a moment, he just stared at her, his eyes glassy. Then, slowly, he picked up the fork and took a bite. His hands shook less with each mouthful, and before long, the plate was empty. He whispered a soft thank you, his voice cracking, before leaving a crumpled napkin with a note. "Someday, I'll repay your kindness." Anna smiled but didn't think much of it. She'd done what she always did, cared, even when no one was watching. 5 years later, life rolled on. Anna was still at the diner, still saving every spare dollar, still carrying the weight of her brother's future on her shoulders. She often dreamed of owning her own little cafe one day, a place filled with warmth and community. But dreams felt far away when bills never stopped. One rainy afternoon, she was wiping down tables when a sleek black car pulled up outside. From it stepped a sharply dressed man in an expensive suit. The air seemed to shift as he entered the diner, confidence radiating from his every step. He looked around as if searching for someone, and then his gaze landed on Anna. He asked, his voice rich and steady. She frowned, unsure. "Yes, do I know you?" The man smiled. "You might not remember me, but I remember you." Something flickered in her memory. The tired eyes, the trembling hands, the plate of food she'd given away years ago. Her mouth fell open. "You're that man from the corner booth." He nodded. "My name is Michael. Back then, I was at rock bottom. I'd lost my job, my home, everything. I was ready to give up. But that day, your kindness reminded me that not everyone had turned their back on me." Anna blinked, stunned. "I just gave you breakfast." "You gave me more than that," Michael said firmly. "You gave me hope. And hope is priceless." He reached into his briefcase and slid a thick envelope across the counter. Inside were official documents, contracts, and a set of keys. Anna's hands trembled as she opened it. "What is this?" she whispered. "It's yours," Michael replied with a smile. "A restaurant, fully paid for, fully stocked. All yours to run as you dream. Consider it a small repayment for what you did for me." Tears welled in Anna's eyes. "Michael, I can't accept this. It's too much." But Michael shook his head. 5 years ago, you didn't think a meal was too much. You didn't hesitate. Now it's my turn not to hesitate. You believed in me when I was nothing. And today, I want to believe in you." The grand opening a month later, the sign above a new building read Anna's Place. Bright lights glowed against the night sky, and the smell of fresh bread and coffee filled the air. The small restaurant buzzed with customers, laughter, and life. Anna stood behind the counter, her heart full. She wasn't just a waitress anymore, she was the owner of her dream. Beside her, her brother, now a college graduate, helped serve tables. And in the crowd, Michael sat at his usual booth, no longer broken, but proud. When the night slowed, Anna walked over to thank him once more, but Michael simply raised his coffee cup and said, This was always meant to be yours." She smiled, tears glistening in her eyes. "Thank you for believing in me." Michael leaned back, his expression thoughtful. "No, Anna, thank you. You reminded me that kindness has the power to change lives. Sometimes, a single act creates ripples bigger than we'll ever know." And with that, Anna's dream became reality. Her little cafe wasn't just a restaurant, it was a symbol, a reminder that kindness never goes to waste, that even the smallest gesture could echo through time and return in the most unexpected, beautiful way. Moral of the story: kindness is never forgotten. What you give to others, even in their darkest hour, may one day return to you in ways you never imagined.